Salutations and welcome back to ButterFlii PrettyStaiiFlii. How are you guys doing out here in this YouTube universe? I hope all is well with everyone on this. Well, here in Bean, it's chilly. So, if you're in another chilly state on this chilly Saturday, I come to you guys with just a make quick check-in on I don't know if any of you are familiar with a YouTuber by the name of Tai Couture. I became familiar with him last year, I want to say. I came across his vlog because I watched Chasing Atlanta, which is another vlog series that premieres here on YouTube. I kind of got into the Chasing Atlanta. They have a spin-off too, I believe it's Chasing Dallas, but that's how I'm sorry guys, I'm all over the place. Please forgive me. But yes, I became aware of Ty because he did reviews on Chasing Atlanta, and he also had cast members from Chasing Atlanta on his platform that he did interviews with. I happened to be able to catch Babe Nation's special edition report where they interviewed with his ex-partner, who was actually still with him when I discovered him. So him and Ty was doing vlogs together at the time when I discovered them. So I want to, maybe it's been longer than a year. I'm not sure how long they've been separated. And just from my own personal experience with being affected by suicide, unfortunately, my little brother committed suicide. Excuse me, guys. 2 years ago now, and it's something really hard to deal with. And I think that, you know, not to take away from the victims that commit suicide, but I think a lot of the times that we don't talk about survivors' remorse, which I think is a huge thing, and how the survivors of suicide victims cope with their loved one or somebody close that they know taking their life. There's so many unanswered questions, and I believe, you know, a lot of the times when you're a survivor of someone who committed suicide, you ask yourself, how did I miss the signs? What didn't I see? I mean, a lot of the times, a lot of us, you know, a lot of suicide victims suffer from depression, and some you are able to tell that they're depressed, and some of them deal with, you know, a lot of things that lead to suicidal thoughts, like high anxiety, depression, deep depression, and then there's sometimes where, like with my little brother, for instance, nobody's seen it coming. There was no signs that directly told us that he was mentally that depressed. Actually, he had just spent the day before celebrating our little brother's 21st birthday with him. And, you know, from everybody's recalling just them last moments and that last time with him, you know, he was happy. He was celebrating our little brother turning 21. And there really was no signs that just stood out to us that would lead us to believe that he would even contemplate committing suicide. I think there's, you know, how can I say this? I don't know. I know for my little brother, he does not believe in God now. And there's things that led up to that. Of course, y'all know that my other older brother was murdered, and for my little brother to lose another brother, that made him angry with God and made him believe that there couldn't be a God that would allow things like this to happen. That's a struggle that he has, and because I'm spiritually very connected with God, and I think, we're even dealing with a lot of my losses coming up. I can't never say that I was angry at God, and I don't know if that's because my grandmother really taught me to understand and know that sometimes God allowed things to happen because sometimes it's a testament to the strength of one individual. And there's so many things tied into that. So I just want to say, they have a saying that, it's good to check on your strong friends. And I believe that's true, because some people really walk around with a smile on their face, and you never know internally what they're going through. Personally, and things that they don't speak about and they don't share, and you never could really tell that something's wrong with them. So it makes it hard to check on somebody that you think is strong, because you don't necessarily always realize that they may be going through something because of how they carry themselves. Like I said, me just watching Tai myself, I wouldn't have been able to know that he was dealing with, I hadn't been watching him that long to know that he had shared about a lot of his mental illnesses, dealing with mental illness and dealing with anxiety on a very high level. So yeah, I didn't. By the time I came across them, it was, like I said, it was around the Chase in Atlanta, and then the ending of their season, last season, either last season or the season before. It might have been more so last season. I can't quite remember, but like I said, I do know that he was still with the guy that Babe Nation talked to today. That was his ex-partner. They were still together when I discovered Ty's channel. And my thoughts and my prayers are definitely with his friends and family, and I just pray that if anybody's going through anything, just know that there are people that do love you, and the effect that you might have with leaving them behind, Like I said, I just wanted to touch on something that I feel like is not talked about as often, and I think it's also a guilt if you talk about it, maybe because you feel guilty. You feel guilty all around. You feel guilty that you didn't know that they was going through something. You feel guilty that you didn't know that they felt so alone, and you couldn't be there to let them know that they are loved, and that how it would affect the people around them if they was to take their lives. I'm gonna be honest with you, in my own dealing with my little brother's suicide, I kind of I numb it out. I numb it out because we hadn't spoken to each other in a while, and I was, so lost and unsure how to feel. And I really just wanted to really be strong for my baby brother, because, I don't want him to be angry at God. And I do want him to know that there is a God. But, that's one day at a time, and that's a journey that he has to take by himself, and I know that. And, just try to do my best as being his big sister, and just being there for him, and just making sure that he knows that he's very much so loved, and that I hope that he never ever feels alone, or that he doesn't have anyone to talk to. Anywho, you guys, I just wanted to touch on that. That's, something recent that's going on, that, just some thoughts that was on my mind. Guys, I hope everybody enjoys their Saturday, the rest of their weekend. And just remember, guys, to try to find something to make you smile in life. And just remember, you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And every day that you wake up is a chance to make life what you want it to be. And just never give up the fight. It's fight or flight. And I say never give up fighting for your happiness. And I know it's kind of like a asinine to say fight for happiness, but sometimes you do have to do that. Sometimes you have to fight for your happiness. And just remember, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. I hope you guys hear me smiling. I'm smiling, even though, yes, you probably heard I was tearing up over here a little bit. But anyways, it's a sensitive subject. And like I said, my little brother's birthday is actually coming up the beginning of the next year, January. So, it's still really raw. I think that's why I was so disgusted with that woman who faked her death, to play with something so serious and something that affects so many people. But anywho, guys, moving along. Enjoy your weekend. Love, light, and butterflies.